Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into something a little bit different.
Oh,
Yeah. It's 50 self-discovery journal prompts.
okay.
And these are from LeStallion.com.
Interesting.
Now, I know what you might be thinking.
What's that?
Journal prompts. A little basic, right?
Yeah, maybe low.
But these ones are actually really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. They're structured in a way that I think is really going to help us with introspection.
Okay, I like that.
And they cover a wide range of topics.
Like what?
We're talking values, passions, relationships, even dreams for the future.
Okay, yeah.
So it's pretty comprehensive for just a blog post, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm excited to dive into this with you.
Me too.
What I think is really interesting is
Yeah.
how these prompts go beyond just those surface level questions.
Right.
They really make you think about the why behind your answers.
Definitely.
I think that's going to lead us to a much deeper understanding of ourselves.
For sure.
So are you ready to jump into the first section?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the first section is values and beliefs.
Okay.
And this is where I think things start to get real.
Absolutely, laying the foundation.
Yeah. You've got prompts like, what are 3 core values that guide your life?
Right.
I mean, it seems simple, but it can actually be incredibly revealing.
Yeah, I can see that.
It makes me think, though,
Yeah.
are there any frameworks or theories from psychology that could help us understand how these values are formed
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
and how they impact our lives?
For sure. Like, it's not random.
Right, exactly.
There's a whole field of study on this, like
Uh.
Kohlberg's stages of moral development.
Okay.
Explain how we understand right and wrong, how that evolves.
Right.
And then you have things like cognitive biases, which can unconsciously influence our decisions based on what we already believe.
Oh, wow. So you're saying that our values are shaped by a combination of personal experiences, cultural influences, and even the way our brains are wired.
Totally.
That's crazy.
That's pretty amazing.
But how does this actually play out,
Yeah.
in our daily lives? What's the connection for our listeners?
Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
Your values are like a compass
Okay.
guiding your choices. So from the career path you choose to the relationships you cultivate,
Yeah.
the way you spend your free time,
Right.
everything's influenced by what you hold dear.
Okay.
Recognizing that can be really empowering.
So if our values are the compass,
Right.
do you think that these prompts
Yeah.
can help us recalibrate that compass?
Yeah, for sure.
What about those times where we're feeling a bit lost?
Totally.
Unsure of our direction?
Yeah.
There's that one prompt
Yeah.
about beliefs you no longer hold.
Uh-huh.
And it asks you to look back and recognize how your perspectives have changed over time. I think that can be a powerful reminder that change is inevitable
Absolutely.
and that growth comes from questioning our assumptions.
Totally.
It's like acknowledging that we're not fixed entities, but rather we're constantly
Evolving.
Huh. And by reflecting on that evolution, we can gain a clearer understanding of where we are now and where we want to go next.
Right.
But wouldn't you say that that's kind of a complex process?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be.
And that's why having these prompts can be so valuable, right?
Definitely.
They provide that framework for asking the right questions, the questions that can lead to those aha moments of self-discovery.
Totally.
I also love how some of these prompts encourage you to think about specific situations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like there's one about a time that you stood up for something that you believe in.
Right.
And I think that's so cool because it forces you to recall a real-life experience and analyze what it revealed about your values in action, Yeah. It's not just theoretical.
It's real.
It's about how your beliefs translate into behavior.
Exactly.
Which is so cool.
It's fascinating.
And it brings us to another question.
Yeah.
Are there ever times when our values conflict with each other?
Oh, that's a good one.
How do we navigate those situations where there's no easy answer?
Right.
Because sometimes you have to prioritize one over the other.
Yeah.
And that can be a tough call.
Yeah, for sure.
I think by examining the underlying reasons behind each value, you can make a more informed and authentic decision.
Totally.
So we've been exploring this values and beliefs section, and I think it's definitely laid some really important groundwork for self-discovery.
For sure.
But let's move on to the next section,
Okay.
which is strengths and passions.
All right.
I have a feeling this is where things start to get a little more exciting. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Who doesn't enjoy uncovering their hidden talents?
Nobody.
Right. Or revisiting those forgotten dreams.
I love that.
Yeah. It's like giving ourselves permission to remember what makes us unique and awesome.
Absolutely.
And there's this one prompt that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
It says, think of a time when you surprised yourself with your abilities.
Oh, I like that.
We've all had those moments, haven't we?
Yeah.
Where we did something and thought, wait, I didn't know I had that in me.
Totally.
What do you think the significance of those moments are?
Well, I think they're incredibly valuable because they challenge our self-perceptions. They expand our sense of what's possible.
Right.
They're like little bursts of evidence
Yeah.
that we're capable of so much more.
That we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah, and we even think about. Yeah.
I bet those moments can also be a bit disorienting, though.
How so?
Because if we surprise ourselves,
Yeah,
it means that we're holding on to a limited view of who we are.
that's true.
Right. It's like our potential is always exceeding our own expectations,
Yeah, like that.
which is kind of a cool thought.
It is.
So it's not just about celebrating our strengths.
Right.
It's also about recognizing that those strengths can evolve and expand over time.
For sure.
Which brings me to another question.
What's that?
How does understanding our strengths actually help us in a practical sense?
Well, first of all, it boosts our confidence.
Oh.
When we know what we're good at,
Yeah.
we're more likely to take risks, pursue our goals,
Right.
and generally feel more capable.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it also helps us identify areas where we might want to improve or
right.
seek support.
So it's like knowing your strengths gives you a strategic advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
You can play to your strengths. Delegate tasks that drain you.
Right.
Ultimately, create a life that's more aligned with who you are
Exactly.
and what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key point that this whole section is trying to highlight.
What's that?
It's not just about self-awareness for the sake of self-awareness.
Right.
It's about using that knowledge to live a more fulfilling and intentional life.
Absolutely.
So it's a bridge between introspection and action.
Yeah.
You uncover your strengths, and then you use that knowledge to make choices that support your growth and your well-being.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so we've covered values, beliefs, and strengths. But we're not just individuals operating in a vacuum.
Right.
We're all connected.
Yeah.
And our relationships play a huge role in shaping who we are.
Totally.
So let's dive into the next section,
Okay.
which is relationships and connections.
Okay.
I'm curious to see what kind of prompts we'll find here.
Me too. Especially since, relationships, they have a profound impact on us.
It really do.
On our values, our beliefs, our sense of self.
Yeah?
And these prompts are going to, I think, invite us to explore those dynamics in a meaningful way.
Okay, great.
For sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah. It seems like these prompts acknowledge that relationships aren't always sunshine and roses. They have prompts about those who challenge us, push our buttons, even those we've had conflict with.
Exactly.
It's
Like there's that prompt that says, what is one thing you wish people understood about you?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right. It gets to the heart of communication and vulnerability. Like an invitation to bridge that gap between how we see ourselves and how others perceive us.
Exactly. It encourages us to consider how we present ourselves.
Right.
And whether that aligns with our own internal experience.
Yeah.
And sometimes, just acknowledging that discrepancy can be the first step towards more authentic connections.
It makes me think about those times when we feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
Or like we're not being truly seen.
Right.
Do you think these prompts can help us communicate more effectively in those situations?
Oh, absolutely. By reflecting on what we wish others understood, we gain clarity on our own needs and desires. And that clarity can empower us to express ourselves more openly and honestly.
So it's like doing the inner work first so that we can show up in our relationships in a more genuine way.
Totally.
And speaking of showing up,
Yeah.
this next section,
Okay.
it's all about goals and dreams for the future.
Okay.
I feel like it's inviting us to dream big.
I love that energy.
Right. Set our sights high.
Yeah.
But it's not just about dreaming, right?
No, it's about action.
Yeah.
Remember that prompt.
Yeah.
What is one way you can work toward your goals every day?
Right.
It emphasizes that even those small steps, taken consistently, can lead to big change.
Like the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly.
So these prompts are guiding us to break down those big, audacious goals into manageable actions.
Yeah, I like that.
But how do our values and strengths play into this?
Oh, that's a great question. Because when you understand your values and strengths, you can set goals that are truly meaningful and aligned with who you are.
Okay.
It's not just about achieving something. It's about pursuing what resonates with your core beliefs and passions.
So it's like creating a roadmap that's based on self-awareness rather than external expectations.
Totally.
Pretty empowering.
It is, yeah. It puts you in the driver's seat.
Right.
And by regularly revisiting these prompts and checking in with yourself, you can stay on track and make choices that lead to genuine fulfillment.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the final section.
Okay.
Self-discovery and personal growth.
Right.
It seems to be acknowledging that this whole journey is ongoing.
Exactly. It's a lifelong process of learning, evolving, becoming more aligned with our authentic selves.
And these prompts in this section encourage us to embrace that journey.
For sure.
With curiosity and a willingness to keep exploring.
Totally.
I like how there's a prompt about building a habit to support personal growth. So it's like taking that self-awareness, turning it into concrete action.
I love that.
Do you have any thoughts on how we can choose habits that are truly effective?
Well, I think it goes back to understanding your values and your goals. You know, the habit you choose should align with what's important to you and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Start small.
Good.
Be patient.
Yeah.
It takes time to build these new habits.
It does.
Integrate them into your life.
So it's like creating a positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
You uncover your values, set goals that align with those values, choose habits that support you
Exactly.
in achieving those goals.
And each step reinforces the others, creating that momentum.
It's all connected.
It is, yeah.
But even with all this structure and guidance, I think it's important to remember that self-discovery, it can be messy.
It can be
unpredictable.
To blur.
Right.
Oh.
It's not always a linear path.
Nope.
There are going to be times when we feel lost, confused, discouraged.
Totally.
What advice would you give to someone feeling that way?
I would say be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Remember, it's all part of the process. Embrace the discomfort, the uncertainty, even the doubt as opportunities for growth.
That's a good point.
Yeah?
And remember, you're not alone.
Never alone.
That brings to mind something that the blog post author mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
About growth being a lifelong journey.
Right.
And it made me think, what does it even mean to truly know yourself?
That is the question.
Right? Is it even possible?
Yeah.
Or is it about constantly evolving and becoming?
That's a question worth pondering.
It is.
Maybe it's a bit of both.
Okay.
Maybe there are some core aspects of ourselves that remain pretty stable, like our values or temperament, while other aspects are constantly evolving, shifting, as we gain new experiences and learn from our mistakes.
So it's like we're all works in progress.
Yeah, I like that.
Constantly being shaped by our choices, our relationships, even our reflections.
And maybe that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
You know?
The ongoing journey.
A never-ending quest.
To understand who we are and who we're becoming.
Exactly. And that's where these journal prompts are so valuable.
Right.
They give us a framework for exploration, a way to engage with those big questions, see where they lead us.
It's like having a guide on this lifelong adventure
Totally.
of getting to know ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like a roadmap, but one that allows for those detours and unexpected discoveries along the way.
Right. Like sometimes those detours are where the real magic happens.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So if someone is listening to this and they're feeling inspired to go on their own journey of self-discovery, what would you recommend as like a good starting point?
I'd say don't overthink it.
Okay.
Choose a few prompts that resonate with you. Grab a journal and just start writing.
Okay.
Don't worry about getting it right or having all the answers.
Right.
Just be curious, be honest with yourself, and see where the process takes you.
It's like giving yourself permission to explore, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Without judgment, without expectation.
Yeah.
And who knows what you might uncover along the way.
Right.
Maybe a hidden talent, a forgotten dream, a deeper understanding of your values, a new appreciation for like the complexities of your relationships.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about achieving some perfect self-awareness.
Right.
It's about that process.
Yeah.
Learning, growing, becoming more aligned with who you are,
Okay.
embracing all the messy,
Yeah.
beautiful imperfections
I love
all
that.
the way.
So to wrap things up, if you're looking for a way to dive deeper into the fascinating world of you,
Oh, yeah.
consider giving these 50 prompts a try.
Do it.
And remember, it's not about finding the right answers.
Yeah.
It's about the journey of asking the questions,
Yeah.
being honest with yourself,
Uh-huh.
and allowing yourself to evolve.
I like that.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
So go forth, fellow explorers,
Dive deep.
and dive deep. We'll see you next time
See you then.
for another deep dive into a new topic.